Hello and welcome everybody to part 2 of Destiny vs. Dragon. So far this has been an absolutely epic game. It is a very long game, so I'm splitting it up into 3 parts, and amazingly I actually did it right. The first game I actually cut under 15 minutes, so it is going to fit into one video, so I'm super stoked about that. But I'm even more stoked about the fact that this game is absolutely epic. So far we've seen a ton of aggression here from Dragon, a lot of Marine siege tank pushes, a lot of drops, and Destiny has just been holding, all thanks to these very cost-effective infestors. And he's actually starting to take the lead a little bit. He's starting to get ahead in the harvester count right now. He's finally 59 to 51 harvesters. He's finally starting to move out of his own base, moving around the map right now with all these Zerglings. And check this out on the production tab. We can actually see that despite all of those attacks, Destiny, in the meantime, while he was defending against these attacks, was actually teching up to Spire. Hive Tech got his Greater Spire and managed to get Corruptors out. Now has 3 Broodlords morphing onto the map. We do see a scan going down for Dragon, so Dragon is going to know that this is going on. In the meantime, looks like he's preparing his 4th expansion. Destiny moving out to try to pick off some of these Marines, and will he be able to do it? Yeah, looks like he's going to be able to pick off all of those Marines in the middle of the map. Nice pick off there by Destiny. Destiny now has a little bit of map control, as now, for the first time this game, he's finally moving around the map with these Lings being very active, controlling that Xel'Naga watchtower. But Dragon here is starting to mass up quite a force. We've got a ton of Marines, a ton of siege tanks out right now. These Marines are currently 1-1 in upgrades. No upgrades yet for those siege tanks. But Dragon is way ahead in the food count. One thing to note that is very good for Dragon. Dragon is still in a good place. Not at all out of this race at all. Moving into position with this command center. Looks like he's going to be trying to take his 4th, but this one tiny little Zergling is going to be able to stop him from doing so. I always wondered, you know, why you can't just land the command center. I mean, you'd think that the command center would be able to crush that Zergling, like the guys in the command center are just sitting there like, we need to land, but there's a Zergling in the way. Yeah, we definitely can't land as long as that Zerg. I've never understood that, but hey, go figure. Can't figure out the logic. It's Blizzard. Blizzard did it, and yeah, I'm sure Blizzard has a good reason for doing some kind of balance issue. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving back into the game, tons of siege tanks here, now controlling this lower portion of the map for Dragon. Excellent move. I love this positioning here from Dragon. I could actually do with a little bit more of a spread, but by controlling this one watchtower, he's defending his 3rd and defending the good portion of the map. But Destiny taking advantage of the fact that all those siege tanks are down there. He's now moving into the base of Dragon, dealing a lot of damage here, getting a few worker kills off. All the Marines are now coming here, are going to be able to clean up these Lings, but how much damage are these Lings going to be able to do as they move into the base? They do scout. There is a Ghost Academy now down for Dragon. Looks like he's going to be trying to get Ghosts to try to deal with all the infestors of Destiny. If we check out the infestor count right now, we can actually see that there are 13 or 18 infestors right now on the field for Destiny, as well as 8 Broodlords. This is going to be very hard to deal with unless we can start to see some heavy Viking production here from Dragon, and that is indeed what we are seeing from Dragon, as he is just now starting to produce a lot of Vikings. We see that 7 Vikings are on the field on the production tab. We can see that more Vikings are on the way, plus 3 attack upgrades for those infantry are on the way. And Ghost Cloak is actually on the way as well. Destiny now taking his 4th base, just now starting to get that saturated, throwing down a lot of Spine Crawlers for defense. In the meantime, throwing down Overseers to scout. He knows that there are ghosts on the map that he needs to be very aware of, so he's trying to get detection all over the map. And what is this? We actually see chitinous plating. This is, wait, chitinous plating. I'm pretty sure the pronunciation for that is chitinous. Correct me on that one if I am wrong, but I believe it is chitinous plating going down on that Ultralisk Cavern. We do see some Ultralisks coming out on the production tab right now, so we are going to be seeing some Infestor Ultralisk Broodlord Zergling composition here from Destiny. This is going to be a ridiculous thing to have to deal with here for Dragon. Dragon moving out right now with a very large push of Marines and siege tanks, as well as Vikings to deal with those Broodlords. This is going to be an epic battle when this does happen. Dragon now taking his 5th base. Is this 5th base? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5th base. I don't know why that took me so long to count. That was so hard to count. I can cast StarCraft, but I can't count so that's nice. That's always good. Destiny moving into an interesting position here, trying to defend this lower base, wants to be sure that there is no kind of big aggression here coming at this bottom base, sending a lot of his forces down here, actually leaving his main kind of open here a little bit, but it looks like Dragon tending to pull back right now, just going to sit back, defend, macro up an army, almost maxed out. Both of these players are actually almost maxed out right now, and it looks like Destiny being very, very smart here, moving around with small groups of lings, trying to scout his opponent, wants to know exactly what's going on. He's going to be running around with the Zergling, trying to see exactly what is going on. I wouldn't be surprised to see Destiny start moving around the map with his Zerglings, checking all these expansions, making sure that there are no big expansions coming out. But what is this? We now see that Dragon is actually now moving out across the map with all these Marines. Looks like he's going to be going for a big attack. And what is this? We see Seeker missiles currently being researched for Dragon, as well as 2 Ravens on the way. So we're actually going to be seeing some Seeker missiles in this game. Holy cow, you guys, this game is getting to be quite epic. +3 attack upgrades now finishing for Dragon. We do see Adrenal Glands coming down, as well as Flyer Carapace. Destiny's really going to need that if he's going to want to be able to defend against those Vikings. He's going to need these Broodlords to stay alive as long as possible for those infested Terrans from those infestors to deal as much damage as they can and try to weaken those Viking numbers. But this is a very, very scary force that is now moving out for Dragon. Destiny knows that he needs to be very, very careful because although he is max, a Zerg army is definitely not as powerful. A Zerg 200-200 army is not as powerful as a Terran 200-200 army, so he's going to have to be very, very careful about how he controls this. Now, I know that Destiny does have some thoughts about this. Destiny has always been of the faith that if you have a lot of infestors and you use this heavy infestor broodlord type composition, he has always said that you do not need to be one base ahead of your opponent, as is traditionally thought by most Zerg players. He is quite content to be equal on bases with those Terran and Protoss players because these infestors can just be so cost effective. Now Destiny doing an interesting thing here as Dragon is moving up, stimming in small groups of Marines to come attack. Destiny has actually decided to split his army. Broodlords are now moving down, but oh no, they're being cut out of position by all these Vikings. These Vikings are going to be able to do quite well against all of these units here from Dragon, blah, 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 blah. I cannot talk today. There is way too much action going on right now as all the Vikings are taking out the Broodlords in the lower corner of the map. In the meantime, Destiny being very, very good with his infestors, used those infestors and infested Terrans to try to take out as many of those ghosts as he can, was actually able to take out quite a few by dropping infested Terrans near the ghosts that he had not yet seen because he didn't have detection, and the siege tanks actually took out the ghosts on their own. Now these ghosts are actually doing quite a bit of damage. No EMPs are actually going down on these ghosts. They are just quite happy to be sniping off a lot of these infestors. The infestor count is rapidly dropping, but the Broodlord count has finally made it up to this top portion of the base and are starting to be able to defend. Vikings still dealing a lot of damage to these Broodlords. Broodlord now trying to pull back as fast as they can. Destiny needs to be trapping that Broodlord with a fungal growth or getting some infested Terran Marines down as soon as he can. In the meantime, Destiny is expanding all over the map right now. He did have an expansion here that got dropped on by Dragon, and it looks like that expansion was taken out, but there still are a lot more here for Destiny. I do not like the fact that both these players' names start with D. I have to say, the fact that both these players' names start with D is just the worst thing in the world for a caster. It's so hard. It's okay. I just gotta focus. We are now seeing Ravens moving across the field. Those Ravens were able to deal a lot of damage to those Broodlords. If you heard it, you might have heard it. I didn't quite catch it, but I definitely heard that there were a lot of Seeker missiles there going down on those Broodlords, but with that +1 armor, it is helping them to stay alive quite a bit. And what is this? We see that a lot of infestors are now moving across the map for Destiny. Looks like he's going to be coming in here. Is there any detection? Yes, we do have detection here from Dragon, but he doesn't have any forces here to try to deal with this many infestors and that many fungal growths if he does indeed decide to go for them. Drops here going down for Dragon, but it looks like they are going to be cleaned up here. A lot of Ultralisks are now on the field. These Ultralisks are 3-5 in upgrades. Those are some beefy Ultralisks, ladies and gentlemen. They are able to take a lot of damage from that Marine siege tanks, and Thors is going to be the response here from Dragon. Dragon now moving in with a lot of Thors in the meantime. All these infestors are now going to be taken out by these Marines, unless he gets out of there quite quickly, trying to do what he can to try to take care of these Marines. Fungal growths going down on those Marines, as well as some infested Terrans there to help clean up the Marines. But in the meantime, Vikings now moving in to try to take out as many of these Broodlords as they can. A lot of Thors are now moving out. Destiny is going to need to mind control a lot of these Thors if he's going to want to be able to deal with this attack. These Thors are 2-2 in their upgrades. These are going to be quite good against those Broodlords, quite good against everything, really, as Thors are just very, very tanky units, able to take a lot of damage, able to dish quite a bit of damage, especially to the air units. They have Splash, so that means that those Broodlords are going to need to be split up quite nicely if Destiny is going to want to be able to deal with this great of Thor numbers. And, oh my god, I think I'm actually missing something good here. We're actually going to go back and check this out right now, because we do see a Raven Infestor battle here going down here in the lower portion of the map, and yeah, there we go, the Ravens are now all moving in. Those Marines just got cleaned up. These Ravens are now coming in, and oh my god, Seeker Missiles are actually going down on these Infestors. The Infestors going down to the Seeker Missiles, and it looks like they are going to be cleaned up here with this auto turret. Dragon, of course, can see these Infestors just because of, well, the Ravens are detectors, and Mind Control goes down on that Raven. That Raven gets taken over in time for Destiny to drop an auto turret and deal some damage in return, but he did lose a lot of Infestors there. Still maxed at 200. If we check out the units counting station, we can see that there are 20 Infestors on the field right now for Destiny, and looks like he's going to have to be very careful as this big attack of Thors is now moving in here for Dragon. Dragon actually stimming in quite a lot of his Marines now, moving in. Thor's trying to stay at the front, trying to take as much damage as he can, but holy cow, Destiny coming in with a ton of Infestors, mind controlling so many of those Thors, dealing a lot of damage, and now the Thors are just going to start killing themselves, and there isn't much that Dragon is going to be able to do with this, as the Thors are all now just sitting there and killing each other. More Thors now being rallied in from Dragon, but they are not going to be able to be picked up here, as these Infestors have now just dropped a ton of these infested Terran Marines, which are, of course, free and have cleaned up all those attacks from Dragon. Looks like Dragon is now going to be forced to sit back and macro for the first time this whole game, ladies and gentlemen. Destiny has taken the food lead. Yes, that is right. Destiny is finally up in the food lead. 167 food to the 127 food of Dragon. And do I hear that correctly? Do I hear a nuke going off? Yes, there is a nuke going off here for SlayerSDragon, and it looks like he isn't going to be able to defend this in time. Yes, actually, he was not cloaked, and those Lings got there just in time to be able to clean up that attack. So it looks like Destiny is going to be able to save that expansion. More Ravens here moving across the field for Dragon. Looks like he's trying to use Ravens to counter all the Infestors of Destiny, and so many Fungal growths going down now on those Ravens. Mind Control's going down also on those Ravens, and a lot of auto turrets being thrown down. Destiny must be laughing right now, as he has mind controlled all those Ravens and is now using his Ravens to create Zerg auto turrets that are now controlled by Zerg and are going to be taking down those Ravens quite easily. Dragon, for the first time this game, might actually be on the ropes. Destiny might actually be going finally for a big attack. Looks like he has not been able to attack his opponent. He's been able to poke in here with some Infestors and some infested Terran Marines, but for the first time this whole game, it looks like Destiny's going to be going here for a major offensive. Dragon does see that this attack is coming. He is on this Zelnaga Watchtower with a lot of Thors. Is going to be moving in here, but so many Infestors are now moving across the map. Fungal growth going down on those Marines. Mind Control is going down on the Thors. In the meantime, all the Zerglings are swarming in to try to deal as much damage as they can to these Thors, and it looks like these Thors are disintegrating to the excellent micro here of Destiny. Destiny doing so well. He definitely knows exactly what he's doing with those Infestors, dealing so much damage to those units. And you know what? I think, you guys, this is going to be the moment in which I'm going to split this into part 3, because the game is just this long. You guys can't see it over here because I blocked this timer. But this game, there's actually more to this game. So we are going to be going into part 3 here in just a moment, guys. Just hang with me, I promise. Part 3 is going to be the end of it. And oh my god, alright, I'll let you guys watch that. We're actually going to watch that one more time in part 3. Here we go, part 3, time for part 3, let's go.